We were right earlier when we were talking about George Foreman. He did win the World Heavyweight Championship in 1973. And in 76, he retired from boxing and spent the next 10 years forming his ministry in Houston, Texas. In 1988, came back in the ring. His next fight, believe it or not, is the Caesars Palace in Las Vegas next June the 16th. Would you welcome George Foreman? Hey, it's nice to see you again. Last time you sat here was in 1976.
Isn't that strange? But you know, I was here in 1972 sending out wolf tickets to Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
I was on with Joey Bishop while you were taking a little vacation.
How you feeling? You look great.
I feel real good, really good.
Now, you're really going to do this, huh?
Oh, it's the easiest thing that have ever been asked of me. I can whip Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas, and Xander Holyfield. I can whip them all in one night.
Now, George, fighters always say that. You know, you got to hype this thing. But a lot of people said, now, not personally, I didn't say this. You understand? You don't take these things personal. A lot of people said you retired because you were scared. Remember, some of the sports writers said that's why you...
Yeah, that's the reason I don't have any hair on my head right now. I was afraid the boppers would think as much, so I started cutting my own hair, and I accidentally, the dividers went off, and I made an S in my head.
Right.
And I had to, from that point on, shave it all off to keep it even.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go into and listen to the boppers say I was scared.
Yeah. Do you have to shave this every day?
I shave it every day.
Somebody told me. Now, somebody told me. It's not my view, of course. And I find nothing wrong with this. And you not only shave but other parts. You shave. No, is that now? Were they putting me on?
It gets kind of catchy. You start shaving legs.
You do?
Arms. And I shave all over. Once my wife caught me looking at my eyebrows. She said, "I'm leaving if you do that."
Yeah. But you do shave?
Yeah, I shave all over. I can't stand that hair. After a while, it gets to be a habit, you know?
Yeah, well, I think it's very attractive. Now, what do you weigh right now?
Well, let me tell you, when I went back into boxing, I was 315 pounds.
Well, now, come on.
I made up my mind to get back into that.
No, you got to admit,
they didn't fit.
That's a tub. I mean, when you're 315, that's tubby, isn't it? That's what people say.
You didn't say that.
That's what a lot of people would say. I think it's just a nice big man.
I was really that big, so I got back to training. For my first boxing match in '87, I was 267, and people were saying, "Boy, he's fat." They didn't realize I just bought a shirt off the rack. You know, I was happy about myself.
Where do you get a shirt off a rack when you weigh 260 pounds? Isn't that too heavy to fight? Aren't most heavyweights around 225, 230 in that range generally?
Well, when I was young, I had a left hook and a right hand.
Yeah.
When I came back, I decided I had to be stronger, so I developed a left hook, right hand, and a belly bump.
So you could...
Let me know in the comments, do y'all think George Foreman retired because he was afraid?
You had to have a little more. But in reality, I got down as low as 229 pounds, and I didn't like it. Look, it seemed like something that happened to gravity. So I had breakfast the next day.
So now, what do you intend to weigh in this fight on June the 16th, or you hope to weigh?
Well, I like being big. I don't like losing that weight anymore. I like being the biggest guy in the ring. So the guys, they can be afraid of me. Why should I? It's like telling a lion to lose weight to fight a house cat, you know?
Yeah, you got a point there.
I like being a big guy. I'm not going to get little. You know, they said Mike Tyson is small and he's quick.
Yeah.
But I'm big, and I hit you a lot harder, though.
In other words, you figure if you're bigger, the guys are going to be scared of you.
Yeah.
Were you ever scared of anybody in the ring? Now, be honest. Ali? I mean...
It's strange. I wasn't afraid of Muhammad. I lost the title to Muhammad, but I remember Joe Frazier. He was the toughest guy I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Smoking Joe Frazier. My mother watched him fight on television, and he hit a guy so hard the guy turned his back. And I kept thinking, I want to be champ of the world, but I sure hope Joe Frazier died.
Yeah.
So I got in the ring. It was time to fight Joe Frazier, and I knew if you hit him, he liked it.
Some people are like that, I guess.
If you miss him, he'd get upset, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? But I had this habit of staring guys down. I look them in the eye to psych them out. And this time, if they dropped their head, I knew I had an advantage, but I was hoping Joe Frazier wouldn't drop his head because my knees were shaking.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to show my knees
eye
shaking.
contact is important with fighters, right?
I thought so. But
Yeah.
then I was at that time. I wish I hadn't even started that.
Yeah. Now, the fellow you're fighting is, I'm not familiar with. What's his name?
Allison Rodriguez.
Now, is he a good fighter?
I hope not.
Have you ever thought of going into comedy, George? I mean, that's a snappy comeback. You hope not. Well, I mean, you don't. It's got to be kind of competitive for the fans, doesn't it? I mean, it's not. This is not a what you call a bum of the month club or something like that, is it?
Yes.
It is.
No, in reality,
What's his record?
The sports writers are saying
Yeah.
George Foreman, he's fought 21 fights. Okay,
Yeah.
he's won them all, but he's only fought stiff. So he doesn't even fight a fella unless he's on a respirator.
Right.
And I tell him that's a lie. He has to be 8 days off the respirator.
What's this guy's record? You know?
Well, he's got a good record. He's rated number 8, something
Really?
like that. So he's ranked number 10 in the rating. So he's a qualified opponent.
Well, I wish you the best of luck come June 16th.
Thank you so much.
It's nice to have you back here. We'll be right back. Here we are.
This video raises questions, and I need for you to be extremely honest in the comments when answering them. And just so you know, I have 2 questions followed by a little bit of information. Number 1, do you consider yourself to be a fan of George Foreman? Number 2, what do you think was your favorite George Foreman fight? Now, the little bit of information, many of you all may know that I shared the love of boxing with my father. And he used to look at George Foreman, what he nicknamed George Foreman, brute force. Because even though he knew he had skills, he knew that George Foreman was just brute force. You know, at least that's what he told me. Please be honest in the comments when answering these questions. Share this video with anyone you deem necessary. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.